Yes, everybody, it's that time of the week again, bitch. Welcome back to another tragic episode of Old School, New School Comedy Podcast. And I am your host, 28-year comedy veteran, the most known unknown person you'll ever meet. Nobody knows me, Christy Miller. And I love you guys. And with me in the studio this week is a very, very dear friend. And I got to know him during lockdown. Who knew, right? I met more men in lockdown than... I don't even know if I have a metaphor for that, sweetie. I met more... Anyway, it doesn't even matter. More men, aren't those in Utah? Anyway, so... Sweetie, that's a joke! And see, whenever I'm flailing, I go into share. And plus, when I'm around gays, I go all the way into share for hours. I met him through my dear friend, Tim Moss. And he has a really great podcast out called Loose Lips with him and Tim. Him and Tim, that sounds so gay. That is gay. Oh my God. And he's also the writer, producer, director, and star of a very successful theater run of 50 Shades of Gay. We'll be right back. I love it. He's so funny. He got into stand-up around 2009 by accident, because, you know, it's always an accident. I slipped and fell into a joke. Nothing! And he's so great. He's so funny. I love him so much, and I'm so grateful. Not only is he a friend, he's part of my family. Mr. IKE AVELLI.
Oh my God. That intro, probably the best intro in I don't know how many years I've been doing this.
I am the queen of intro. If you listen to the show, I give the best intro.
I just have one question.
What's that?
Am I old school or new school? But think about it before you answer.
Well, no, I consider you part of the new school because the internet was out when you came in.
Yeah.
Like Instagram was just starting.
AOL was still like, shh. Yeah. Oh my God. Sounds like my bedroom.
It sounds like two Jewish people yelling at the dark. Nothing.
We're gonna do that all night.
All night, rim shots. Whenever gays are on my show, I have 88 rim shots on the show, and then when I have straights, one.
Yeah, well, that's right. 89 now that I'm here. Oh my God! Thank you for having me. This is great.
Oh.
Seriously, this is the most professional I think I've seen in a long time.
Is it?
Yeah. Wink, wink. No, it really is. I mean,
Oh, wow.
Listen to me. I can hear me.
Right?
My God, my voice. It sounds like my mom.
Horse with a beard.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for having me.
No, it's great. No, it's, you know, I'm all about the production. I'm the queen. It's like, it's so, if you guys could see outside of the camera, you would die laughing.
Oh, yeah.
But I used to do this at the comic strip and at Broadway Comedy Club, but it just became so, you know, they have their own things, you know, and I'm kind of in the way. And I always thought, oh, Sundays are, you know, to record is a great day to record because not much happens. Bitch, you don't even know half the shit that goes down in a comedy club on a Sunday afternoon. It is the fun. You would think like Sunday afternoon was the hot spot for the jet set. You know, like that was the club. There's so much shit that people, it's like, I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm just going to do this in my apartment.
Well, so much has changed in the comedy world, like since I started, but I know way back when my friends used to say, oh my God, they would get gigs here and there and they were performing like all week.
Yeah.
Now it's become like so much drag, especially for a gay comedian. It's impossible to go anywhere and perform because every single corner there is a bar that is hosting drag performance.
Yeah, and they don't, like, when I started back in the year one, I started in 1995.
Okay, so you're
28 years. So
like 10 years back before me.
Yeah, I started in December of 95. And back then, with the gay performers back then, it was really hard for gays to get booked on the mainstream shows because club bookers thought back in the 90s that, oh, gay humor is not the same as straight humor, so you don't they're not going to get you.
Right.
And it's like, dude, funny is funny, A, and B. So a lot of gay comics weren't out.
Right.
Judy Gold.
Yeah.
Helen Keller could see she's a big dyke.
Yeah, Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Ellen. I mean, they all came out. But
Ellen came out in the early 90s on her show. But it was like she made it first as a quote-unquote straight, you know. So then Mitzi Shore at the Comedy Store gave Wednesday nights to, it was an LGB, you know, back then it was only 3 letters. We had 2, then we got 3.
Yeah.
And the mid to late 90s, they added the B.
And then it used to be GLBT.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And then,
it
so
went
it was gay,
LGBT.
because it was G and L at first, because it was gays and lesbians. It wasn't lesbians and gays. And now, of course, the women, ladies first. And you'd still think it would be the gay men first. Hey, because the L stands for Lowe's. We're going to go build shit because we're lesbo.
Oh, my goodness. But even in the 90s, like you said, but in the 2000s, I think when I started to come out, and I think it's because my voice is a little deep, so I think I got accepted more into the clubs until I got on stage, but then they were like, he's gay?
Yeah.
And then it was like, whoop, you're not back.
Yeah, because the gays, you know, gay, especially back then, was a stereotype. It was Jack from Will and Grace.
Right, yeah, that's who everybody thought you had to be.
It was Airplane, the movie Airplane in the 70s. Did I leave the iron on?
Yeah, remember? Yeah, oh my God, that was such a good movie too. Oh my God.
He was so great, but it's like that's what gay stereotype. That's what people perceived in the mainstream community perceived gay as Nelly, Twinkie, girl. Oh, because it was.
It had to be that way.
Liberace, you know, and it was girl.
He was.
I
was just watching a whole thing on him, a documentary, and it was like all the sex parties he had in the house, and I'm like,
she's a mess.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I thought Freddie Mercury. I didn't think Liberace.
No, Liberace. Honey, you walk around in a fur robe with bedazzles and a candelabra, and you don't think you're having sex parties?
How did I not know that though? Like I knew Freddie Mercury, but Liberace, I'm thinking, all right, glitter condoms.
You know why? Because he was on TV and everybody loved him.
Right.
You know, he was this beloved character. He was such a carved out character. And he played piano, so he got a pass.
Yeah.
Because he could sing and he was an entertainer. So nobody gave a shit because he wasn't like, oh, he's going to influence my kids to suck a dick.
Yeah.
No, really? No, I think you, sir.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, that was like Paul Lynde, too. Like how...
Paul Lynde was the queen of queens, and he was the center square in Hollywood Squares.
Oh my God, but he was so fucking funny.
Dude, he's a legend.
Yeah, he is. And
legend.
I think what was one of the jokes that he told? Oh, it's like when a guy falls off a ship, they say man overboard. What do you say when a woman falls overboard? He said full speed ahead. Cracked me up.
My friend who was on the show a few weeks ago, Eric Marino, he's a writer at Saturday Night Live, and he wrote on his first writing gig was out of college was that puppy episode when Ellen DeGeneres came out of the closet. That was his first writing assignment, and he was on that. So, you know, he's been in the game a long time, and he tells this great. He heard this great Paul Lynde story at Radio City Music Hall. So he's got a show there, and he goes back, and it's the Rockettes' dressing room, right?
Oh no!
So I said, "Hey, Paul, the Rockettes are in town too. It's that time. It was like Christmas time, like December. So you're going to be sharing the room with them, but they're not here, obviously, because it's your night. But this is the Rockettes' room, so it's like there's stuff in there. Don't worry." And he walks in, he goes, "It smells like pussy in here, I think."
That is friggin' brilliant.
No, I think,
right? Because you don't know, right?
I'm dead.
Oh my God.
Put me in a coffin.
That is classic.
That was Paul Lynde.
Yeah.
He was the legend of, like, it's so funny how scared people are of gay. But the most beloved characters on like game shows or like Charles Nelson Riley.
Yeah.
Paul Lynde, Liberace, like all these beloved Richard Simmons, God rest her soul, Miss Thing. She liked her name Richard because it's shortened to Dick. Anyway.
I should have been called Richard.
No, I still call you Dick.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody does.
Actually, if you put a D in front of your name, she's Dyke. But they were the most beloved characters.
Yeah.
Jack in the 90s on Will and Grace is probably one of the funnest out of the 90s one of the most beloved characters. And then you got Leslie Jordan doing play.
Oh my God, Karen Walker.
Yeah, Karen.
Walker.
Just legends,
yes.
you know. And it's like, it's so funny how it's like, oh, that's safe because it's on TV and they're Nelly and they're
right.
not. It's like, dude, it's just people.
It blew my mind, no pun intended. But but when everybody loved them on TV, they saw them and they loved them, never questioned their sexuality until they found out, and then it was taboo.
Yeah, and then and that was too, like in the 80s growing up, you know, movie stars, even in the as far as the 90s, was that movie stars had to stay in the closet.
Yeah.
Because if you were an out gay man, leading man, then the women weren't going to buy tickets to see you because the fantasy's gone.
Rock Hudson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prime example.
Oh, but he was sexy.
He was delicious.
Oh my God.
Pillow Talk's one of my favorite movies.
Me too. Oh my God, are
Doris
you kidding?
Day
yeah,
is like one of my favorite fucking movies. I own it.
I just watched it probably like a year ago again. I love watching that movie.
She was
good.
So great in it, and he was phenomenal.
And,
like he was
and
so
her
charismatic.
maid. Hysterical. I forgot her name.
I forget too, but
so
watch
good.
Pillow Talk. If you love good old Hollywood, classic Hollywood movies, Doris Day and Rock Hudson, just genius. It was so good.
Tony Randall.
Oh yeah, Miss Thing.
Oh my God.
Miss Girl.
Well, he was straight.
Yeah. Oh sure.
Yeah.
The Odd Couple. Yeah, because he was in the closet.
He was pumping out semen at 70, having kids. Isn't that crazy?
Semen, I can't even hear them.
All right, we got Paul Lynn. Paula Lynn is here.
I think.
Oh my goodness.
But he was like growing up, like I idolized him because
Bewitched.
He was so quick.
I watched him way before Hollywood Squares and I was dying.
Listen, anything in Bewitched is gay.
Oh God, Andorra. Drag queen right there.
Hello. If that's not Bianca Del Rio, I don't know who it is.
My God. Way before Bianca Del Rio. Same makeup.
Right, girl. She still needs
same attitude. Right? Oh my God. So freaking funny.
But so you started in 2009. So you got started by accident. So how did that happen?
Well, I always wanted to be a comedian. I just didn't get up and do it because, life gets in the way. I didn't start until like I was 43. So I started
Rodney
late.
Dangerfield started at 50.
No,
51. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's why he was so old.
Stop it.
He was old when he started.
I thought he just looked 51 and he was like 30.
No, that's Phyllis Diller. Because she was 37 when she started.
Oh, I did not know that.
And remember, back in the 60s, that was considered old.
Yeah.
In your 30s, you were done.
But you could start at any age then. You really could. Not for a woman, but a man. Yeah. They were starting, like you said, Rodney was 50, didn't even know it.
And he was 50 or 51 when he started.
What?
But he brought, because it was also a very fresh industry then.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of comics. So
That's
in the
true.
80s, the 70s and 80s boom, he was just in the right place at the right time with the right act, because he was also 50, 51, so he had all that life experience under his belt, which really helped him. So you're going in as a full-grown, evolved man with all 50 years of life experience under your belt. You're going to have some shit to say, and you're going to kill. Don Rickles is another favorite. I feel like I am him sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
just with the haircut and the weight. And, but, it was... starting older, I think, is almost smarter.
Yeah. But the life experiences, like you said. But for me, my partner always said, do something, go to an open mic. And then it wound up, I had a holiday party, and the drag queen didn't show up. And he was like... What
else is new? She's probably still putting her makeup on today.
Yeah. She was sick, sniffles. Yeah. Sniffles, the Coke wasn't going down, right? So I decided, all right, I'm going to try it. And I wound up, friends, obviously they're going to laugh.
Obviously.
So then after that, I started doing open mics. And I said, let me start writing my own stuff. Went out to Vegas, did Pennsylvania, Florida, Jersey, everywhere I could go, I did an open mic. And then it got ridiculous because they were starting to tell you have to bring 15 people.
Yeah.
And then
That's right. You started in the heyday of the Bringer.
Yeah.
Because we started Bringer shows in the late 90s because that was when the comedy boom was dead. Comedy was dead. It was that decade of nobody went out. Internet was invented, so like people were renting DVDs, and like
Right.
Blockbuster was big, and people would rather stay home and not spend money because and then the writer's strike hit in 2000, and then it really was like nobody went anywhere, and it was really a tough time when I started. That decade, my first 10 years at the Comedy Store was tough, but man, it made me who I am.
Yeah,
and
right.
I'm really grateful that it wasn't easy.
I wish I would have started when you did, because again, you were getting out there, and then also too, remember back in the day, like they used to have on the E channel, when they had all these samples of the comics, they would put them on, or Comedy Central maybe it was, and they would have like an hour show. I think Jon Stewart hosted it, and that's how I saw all these comics coming up.
Yeah, there was Premium Blend. There was
remember what the name
half-hour comedy hour on MTV or VH1, or it was MTV's half-hour comedy hour, and that was in the 80s to 90s.
No, this was like they did blips. Like you would get like a minute of each comic, and then they would talk about other things that were coming up in the comedy world.
I think it was VH1.
Oh, it was VH1.
I think so. That sounds real, because there's so many of those clip shows.
Yeah, but they were great,
comics,
and that's how I found Judy Gold. I found who's the one? Susie Essman.
Yep.
I'm big on female comics. I think
most gay men are.
But you grew up predominantly with male comics, right?
Yes.
Right, as your idols.
There was 8. Okay, when I was growing up, it was all male comics, and the only female comics that we knew of was Phyllis Diller, Joan Rivers, and it was Mom's Maybelline.
Oh, I love Toady
Minnie
Fields.
Pearl. Toady Fields was great, but those were like pre us. That was the 50s and 60s.
Right.
So like in the 70s and 80s, Mitzi was really a predominant player in the female comedy game, because she really pushed females a lot, because at that time in the 80s it was 8 males to every 2 females, so you multiply that times a million, it's a lot. And
it's still like that, I think, for you. I mean, when you're out performing, there's really not a lot of female comics. Even when I still go to an open mic, it's all male.
Yeah, well, a lot of girls don't. I mean, in the city, it's probably, where do you go to open mics at?
Duplex.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a gay club, so.
But yeah, there's a lot of straight people in there, though.
Yeah, a lot of straights go to that. Is that Tuesdays?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. I know there's a couple. There's a Tuesday show and a Wednesday show, and but I know they do. But I know it's like a lot of straights love that mic. Because, because I'm sorry, the gay community is very supportive.
Yeah.
They're funnier than most people.
Yeah.
They can take a joke better than most people.
Yeah, totally.
And it's the ones that can't take a joke are the ones that have no skin in the game.
Yeah.
And they're just on a soapbox.
Drunk as hell.
Yeah, I
living
love
their best life.
Yeah. See, I want to start another gay room.
Well, not even a gay room, just a place where we can.
That's where I could go. But I want it to be at a gay bar or a gay club, because I miss that atmosphere, and I miss all that misfit and alternative and like off the beaten path stuff.
Well, I think we have an idea here. We need to. Did I say idea? Oh my God, I'm talking like my grandmother. An idea and have a pretzel. She never said any of her letters.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. We have an idea. We need to start something.
Yeah, I would love that.
We'll find a gay place that has a night that's silent, and just maybe before 7 p.m. and go in and do open mics and run it.
Yeah, I don't even want to do it as an open mic. I want to do it like as a show.
Okay.
Because I think open mics, it's kind of like,
Well,
the clubs, it's like then it becomes Degenerate City, and it's like I'd rather have control over who goes on stage, so we can build something of quality.
Well, we need to find something there, for sure.
Absolutely.
That is our goal before we leave here tonight.
Exactly. So in 2009, Drag Queen didn't show up.
Yep, didn't show up. I did the comedy. I wound up doing open mics. Got tired of the whole bringer thing, because then I'm like, I have nobody here. I'm not getting paid, and blah, blah, blah. So then I decided 2013, I wrote a show called I Slept My Way to the Top Twice. And it was just about my story from the 60s, coming out, till now. And it had a drag queen, a singer, and that's what I started my own variety show.
Right.
And we wound up selling out. And then from there, I'm like, all right, let's keep going. And I created about 16 shows since then. Yeah,
you've done a lot. You're a busy ass bitch.
Well, so are you, but you've got to do what we have to do to make a living.
Yeah, and you just have to find your lane. And I always tell people, young comics especially, because I'm 28 years in the game, and it's like I've seen everything, and the fact is that you just have to just do what you do, and you don't have to look for an audience.
Right.
Your audience will find you.
Exactly.
And I have found, like, when I play shows anywhere, when I go on the road, and my friend Eric, I was just talking about earlier, he comes and opens for me a lot.
Yeah.
And he goes, Miller, you have some hardcore fans. He said, you have true, like, people go nuts for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this fangirl, like, they go crazy because I go, I know, because I'm different, but it's like, but it's real and it's honest.
Exactly. That's what I love about your comedy. When you're up there, you're engaging the audience.
Yeah, I make them the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
And I know how, that's one of my gifts, is that I know how to weave the crowd into my bits, so it sounds like I'm personalizing it. Because for me, I kind of am, because I want to meet the crowd where they are.
Yeah.
Instead of dragging them tooth and nail. No, you got to go my way or fuck you. Yeah. It's like, no, let's have a good time. Let's make it a party. Let's just laugh. Let's be in. It's like, I always feel like when I'm on stage, I'm in a room with a bunch of my friends, and we're cracking jokes and talking shit. And they're like, Christy, tell me a story for half an hour.
Right, they're either going to get it or they're not, but majority of them do get it, especially if you're connecting with them. Yeah. Right, which is what you do amazingly, brilliantly, I got to tell you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We like her. Really
yes. Oh my God, Really Yours. Oh my God, not plugging, but it's fabulous.
Oh, plug it, bitch.
Well,
plug it in, plug it in.
That's the second part after commercial.
I'm cutting the commercial now. Stick it in.
It's automatic.
It's a stick shift.
It better be black.
Yours is, actually.
Thank God.
That's why my stool's smaller. It's white. Hey, sweetie, can I push in your stool?
Hold on. Oh, there we go. Now it's in.
You felt it?
Yeah. Right after that symbol.
Atta girl. But what were we talking about?
I forget.
My album. Yes.
Yes. We went to plugs, but that's okay.
So
we were allowed to do that.
Yeah.
We could do anything we want.
So it was a really cool thing about that record is, like, the record company really dropped the ball on it. They really did. And they were supposed to get it on Sirius and get it out there, and I don't know what they did at the record label, but she goes, oh, they didn't buy it, whatever. And I go, well, what about plan B? And then she just kind of blew me off, and it's like,
it's horrible, because for me, I don't know about you, but I have to manage myself, market, promote, book, write, produce, find the venues. It's ridiculous, because you can't depend on anybody.
No.
And then once they have their hands in it, forget it. It's a lost cause.
Yeah, and it's like I was really disappointed. I'm not mad. I was just disappointed, because I really put my heart and soul into that. And it's funny, because like about 2 weeks ago, I was at Starbucks getting coffee. And, it's in the neighborhood. So you see the same people at Starbucks at the same time all the time. So you get to know everybody. You become like a community, Yeah. And my Starbucks in my hood is very community-based. Like, everybody knows everybody. It's like Cheers.
Yeah.
And this big, tall, black queen, delicious, love him. I don't even know his name.
I'm hoping that's her name.
Yeah, probably.
It would be
probably
great.
Is
hey,
delicious.
How you doing?
So how you know my name, girl? Shoot. But I remember telling him about it like a few weeks before, but then I forgot, because I tell everybody, oh yeah, I have an album if you want to listen to it or whatever. So I was waiting for my coffee, and he was sitting in the window in the back of the Starbucks, and I was by the front there, and he comes up to me, he goes, hey, I just want to tell you, I listened to your album. Oh my God, you're one of the funniest people I've ever heard. And I went, really? He goes, you went places in that album that I was like, uh-oh, how is she going to get out of this? And he goes, and you paid it off beautifully. And I was like, thank you. And it was like, it's such a huge compliment.
Right. Out of everything that you've done with that album, hearing the feedback is the best
amazing.
Thing. It's rewarding.
So everybody go on iTunes and rate it and put 5 stars and write a review about it. Right. It helps me.
But listen to it. Trust me. It's not one of those things where you just even just say, oh, you have to listen to it. No, you have to listen to it. It's hysterical. It really is so funny. And that's what we need. We need something that's quality again. Because you listen to some albums and they're just not consistent. Yours is.
Yeah, it's just, well, everybody does their shows or their specials or their albums or whatever it is. They do it in 2, 3, 4 shows, and they edit together the best of the best.
Right.
I'm like, my act isn't like that, because every show is different depending on the crowd. and my act is a vibe. It's not a it's a book. No, it's a vibe. It's a party. It's an energy. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm doing one take.
Good.
And I'm going to lay it all on the stage. And if it kills, hallelujah, but if it doesn't, so be it. That's me. That's on me. And I did it at the comic strip. And I just wanted it to be like this intimate, dirty, like club, like old school vibe. And of course the comic strip's been there 51 years, 52 years. So so it was very perfect for that. The vibe, everything was perfect. And the crowd was just delicious. And I had people from all walks of life.
She was there again? Delicious?
Yes, she was. Okay, she was half the room.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I had everybody from all walks of life. Like I had like waspy Connecticut liberals. I had MAGA crazy psycho Staten Islanders. I had, regular gays, professional gays. I had twinks. I had trans. I had my blacks, because I can't go anywhere without my black folks.
Hallelujah.
No ma'am.
Hallelujah.
And then I had like the straight white males and the women and the housewives and the young kids and the Upper East Side people, the locals, and then I had all the comics in the back that were there. And
which is such an eclectic group.
Right, and they were all laughing at the same time, at the same jokes as one. And it made me, I cried on stage after the show. I was like, I got a standing O, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I literally had a tear because I'm like, Jesus, look at this. Like, look at this is just proof that humanity is bigger than the bullshit propaganda that everybody gets sucked into on social media. And I'm like, this is who we are. This is what America looks like. We're all different.
It changed so much in the last few years, especially Joan. When Joan passed, forget it. I used to say everything that everybody wanted to hear. Like whatever they were thinking, I was saying it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there was a shift. I still say it and I don't care. I don't.
And you should. Because the thing is, it's not, I always tell people, nobody cares, be funny. It doesn't matter. If it's you and you're unapologetic about it and you commit 1,000,000, not 100, 1,000,000% to the joke and don't back down and show no fear and just, but not come from an angry place either.
Right.
You can't, because I've seen comics that are very angry and bitter. Oh, I've been uncomfortable, and it's hard to make me uncomfortable.
And you could tell, and the audience is not getting it. They're not feeling it. And then sometimes you have to step back and just say, what am I doing here?
Yeah, like get out of your head and get into your body, and it's like, that's why.
It's not organic. It just isn't when they do things like that. And I don't want to drift again, but I just got to say that album cover.
Thank you.
First of all, I'm sorry I keep talking, but that album cover is exactly like the art that I always envision. Like when I'm doing, I just put out a song. Was it in May?
Okay.
And it's a parody of Island in the Stream. And it's called 42nd Street. Poured money into the video being done professionally. Bam! Nothing. Just like you're saying. It's just like, what? This was amazing. Professional video quality, hysterical, and...
Yeah, it's just, it's the algorithm. It's whatever's trending, and it's how many followers you have. And it's also pay to play. The internet is totally pay to play.
Yeah.
Like TikTok, I posted that rant video because I was so upset. I'm like, you know what? I need to get on TikTok again. I gotta try it again. This is stupid. So I posted one video, the last clip I just posted about it's with the kid. I found the kid and the whole family audience. So it was hilarious. They were amazing. The parents were great. So such a fun night. So I posted it on there. And they removed the sound because it went against community guidelines.
Oh my God!
And
it's ridiculous.
So it only has like one view because they're not putting it out. It's totally shadow banned, and the volume's off. And it's like you can't. So, but what it is with TikTok and stuff. This is why I got off it in the first place. Like I would put my promo clips for the shows for like old school, new school comedy, and for like Lunch Money and for Celebrity when I had that, I would put those up. And then they would get shadow banned. They would put some out and do really well, and then they would start shadow banning them. So you have to pay to promote. Do you want to get this out more? Pay this price. And they were sending me things that I had to buy views to get it out there, or pay somebody to push it out. And I'm like, this is pay to play. Right. Are you serious?
But is it working?
No, exactly.
Right.
So it's like, if you have 1 million followers already, they're going to push you out because you have 1 million followers, and people are going to stay on that app to watch what you're doing. because you have all those followers and your thing. When you don't, they don't give anybody a chance to build. And if you start building, they throw the rug out. I was starting to build on there and they pulled the rug out. And I was like, oh, now you want my money?
Right.
Go fuck yourself.
That's how it is too. Even with promoting a show, when I have something out there, they want you to boost it. But who's it going to?
Yeah.
You have your market. You could put it in New York. You could put it in Jersey. But are they buying tickets? They're not. So you just shelled out money and nobody's buying tickets.
Yeah.
They're just viewing it.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, and it's like, what am I getting from my views? Nothing.
No.
You know, and I also see, like, you know, people like, it's all about the views, it's all about the views. And then I see, oh wow, this comment got like 150,000 views on the video. And then you look at their account, 2,000 followers, 1,000 followers. So did it really help you? No, nobody cares.
No. And then eventually they'll disappear, those numbers.
Yeah, and also because it's like you're not getting any followers out of it, so obviously you don't have the content to back up that one viral video.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, you know, I'm all about, I do things that I love.
Yeah.
And I do stuff that makes me laugh, like because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy what I do. So when I go and do shows on the road, people, like Eric said, he goes, it's just this fanaticism, but not in a negative way. He goes, it's just, he's like, it cracks me up because you have such a hard time getting through doors because no one's trying to help you.
Right.
You know, because you're not playing the game properly.
I know. Well, listen, if that gets me in, sign me up.
Right? Girl, you
I'm
get in.
Yeah.
There.
No gag reflex there.
In 6 weeks, I'll be 54. But nobody wants 54-year-old pussy.
58.
See, girl.
That's ridiculous.
Huh.
Come on.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel
Which one?
down the road
and back again. Your heart is true.
You're an old fucking queen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Delicious sends her love.
Hilarious. But it's, you know, it's so crazy. So now it's like, because of all that, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do things I love. I'm going to put out the stuff I like to do, and I'm just going to do the shows I want to do. And that's it. That's all I can do. That I can't do anything more.
And I think that's great about our age, because we don't give a shit no more. We want to do what we love. We're not going to have somebody tell us how to do it. And then when we get it and it's successful, it was all us.
Yeah. It was all of our blood, sweat, and tears. And it was no candy coating or somebody.
Sell yourself to the devil. Yeah.
But devil, if you're out there, call me.
Yes, please. Yes. Stand my ass.
There's nothing. That was Patty. I'm sorry.
I can't do that because it'll go below my knees.
Good night. She's in long in the tooth.
Hey, bitch.
That's how old I am. I know long in the tooth.
Yeah. Oh my God, I don't even know that one.
You don't?
No, you have to play for me later.
No, it's long in the tooth.
I don't know
just
that.
a saying.
Oh, I don't know that.
It's long in the tooth means like you're old.
Oh. I've never heard that, and I'm older than you.
I know. You're gay older.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. I know the other terms.
Yeah, or long in the tusk. Elephant tusk. Hey, you gotta tusk this shit on.
Not so much ivory, but okay.
Good, huh? Ebony and ivory. Hey, I've been with them.
Oh, Stevie Wonder.
Those are the two strippers that come out together.
But tell me, how great is that? I would love to be with a man like Stevie Wonder. He's blind. He can't see what I look like. How great would that be?
Oh, you can let yourself go.
Yeah.
You can wear whatever the fuck you want.
Is that a chin hair? Shut up.
That's your chin hair.
Yeah, exactly. That's how long it is.
And you can dress him any way you want, and he won't know.
No, he won't even know.
You could dress him in freak shit and take him outside.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's leather.
Two of my dreams: Stevie Wonder and Helen Keller. Dreams. I would definitely date Helen Keller, just for the jokes.
Just for the silence.
Yeah.
Hey, Helen, have you heard this one? Helen, what did the one thing say to the other?
Helen, fire.
Helen back.
Oh God, we're good.
We're so terrible.
We need to share a stage. Oh my God,
we need a show. We really need a show.
Oh my goodness, we sure do. Oh my God.
Oh my God, I love it. So 50 Shades of Gay.
Yes.
I had the privilege of seeing it at that little theater on 40th. What was that called?
I think you've seen Bitter Betty's, right?
I don't remember. I think it was, but I don't know.
Bitter Betty's was the play I did with Tim.
Yes, and you were traveling.
Yes, we were.
And there was the boyfriend that was.
Yes, Bitter Betty's was about Tim and I being two friends who haven't spoken to each other in a while.
Yes, yes.
We met up at the airport attending a friend's funeral, And turns out my ex is there, and he's into drugs, and we follow him because he just broke up with me and disappeared.
Right.
So it's this whole live action comedy thing on stage.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was really cute.
But 50 Shades of Gay is a variety show, which is amazing. We had a blast now since 2015. Been traveling all over the country with it, selling out cabaret theaters. So much fun. It's
phenomenal. It's so phenomenal.
Yeah.
You guys are really good together. You're really cute together.
Oh my! It's like we finish each other's sentences. Like I know that sounds corny, but we really do.
True. No, it's true.
It's insane, and we laugh. And the stories. We have a book coming out next year. I'm putting out 50 Shades of Gay. It's the 10th anniversary. We have photos, stories from all the performers that were in the show. We have to have you on the show.
I'm waiting.
Hello.
Hello.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, the oldest fag hag on the planet is still waiting for her invite.
And she can do a share like nobody's business. The gays will love her.
Hello.
Oh my God.
You know, I did a show, I wrote a show like 24 years ago called The Farewell Tour. You know, it was when Believe was out, and then she did the farewell tour when, you know, the other album came out with, you know, The Music's No Good Without You and Song for the Lonely.
The longest running farewell tour
ever. So I wrote a show called The Farewell Tour, and I still want to do it. And I wanted to do it like at a piano bar.
Okay.
And I need a piano player that can play just about anything.
Maria Connor.
Okay, and another guy I know does too. But yeah, and then you remember the sketch on Saturday Night Live in the 70s with Bill Murray, and he was the lounge act in the
Yes. Oh, so Star Wars.
Yeah.
Billy. Oh, yeah, Billy.
You're beautiful. Where you from?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's a mix of that sketch meets Cher's tour. So it's Cher in a divey piano bar, hanging on by her last thread, still trying to do the sexy and it's the songs of the 80s, 90s, and today, you know, and it's audience participation. So the audience can fill out a little slip of paper and they put it in a bowl, and we pick out, the piano player picks out a song out of the bowl, and I have to sing it, and that's audience request. Like it's like a jukebox kind of thing. And if I don't know the words, I can just make them up, or I could just not want to do it. Fuck that song sucks or something, you know, because gays love that shit. But it's like. But I was going to do that with a piano player trying to, you know, do it as Cher.
Oh my God, that is brilliant.
Yeah, and I wrote that like in 2000.
Let's bring it to life.
Let's do it.
Seriously, we just got to find a place. Like, what there's another place.
Don't tell mamas. Over, we can do it at.
Yeah.
Or any place that has a piano.
A piano,
really.
Yeah. And Maria Connor, I'm telling you, she just wrote the music to my brand new Christmas song. And literally was playing Billy Joel just at the top of her head. She was playing Elton John. So many songs. She played Charles Schultz. Just started whipping out like the keys. It was amazing, brilliant.
Perfect. Like, you know, because also too, it was funny because I was on that. I did a cruise ship like almost 2 years ago. Still traumatized. It was my Vietnam. It was a swingers cruise.
Oh,
it
wow.
was creepy. But the girl that was in the piano bar, she was the piano player and singer. She played 7 nights a week. I only had to do one show. But her and I became like best friends.
Oh, there you go.
And she's great, but she's in Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
So, but she can play. She did a version of California of Tupac.
Oh,
that I died. And it was her as a piano singing. I was like, I have not lived until I've heard the piano lounge version of California.
Oh my God, great song, but I gotta hear that.
Oh yeah, it's so funny. And I was dying. I'm like, this is the greatest thing I ever heard. And she would add a little softness to it. And it's so great.
Playful.
But like somebody like that can play just about anything.
And picks it up right up.
So, but that's the show. I want to do it. And I also had my friend who was out here for a while, my friend Jesse Melly. I was like, I want you to play Chaz.
Oh,
you know, just from the back. You only see Chastity from the back, sitting on this, like in the front row, and no one sees you, just sitting in the front row, and it's just a man, a big hairy bear with tattoos, shaved head. You know, would be hilarious as Chaz.
We're gonna put this out spring.
Okay, all right.
Seriously.
Spring?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Guess you get a plan for it.
First, old school,
that would be great.
Yeah, I'm in it because
that is what we need. We need art. Like Tim would agree.
And also, she has her Christmas album, which I'm obsessed with.
Oh, me too. I have played that thing front to back.
Oh yeah, that was my only Christmas song that I listened to was hers, and it's just I wanted to do the Christmas show of Cher, like the tragic Christmas show.
You could pick any song out of the hat.
Yeah, any song out of the hat and do, anything. So it's just that. So we have to do it. All right, you heard it here first. We're doing it.
Yeah, because then you could start that in the spring. And then you could say, well, now we got a Christmas one coming up. You got to see that one. Oh, this is brilliant.
Yeah, and it would just be so funny because it's.
I'm in.
Okay,
I'll help you.
Good. Okay, you're in.
Yeah.
You're in. You're a partner now.
Oh,
you're
totally.
stuck now. You hear?
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's stuck.
Got my word. Delicious. You hear us?
Delicious. How many S's are in turtle?
Turtles.
Several. Okay.
Turtles.
Several S's in turtle. It's one of my old jokes.
Oh, really?
In West Hollywood, everything sounds like a tire losing air. Just a bunch of snakes. Oh
my goodness.
I go, how many S's are there in turtle? Several, girl. Several.
Oh my God.
That's one of my old WeHo jokes when I started.
So many stories that are out there.
Yeah.
We can go on and on.
Forever. So 50 Shades of Gay, Bitter Betties, your book came out.
Yes, A Year in the Life of IKE AVELLI, and It Ain't Pretty. It was the year 2017. I was going through some things with my partner, so I, kind of put that in there.
Sure.
Stories of me and my mom, hilarious stories on the road, and it wound up selling out great on Amazon.
Wow.
Yeah, so now we're going to have the second book coming out, 50 Shades of Gay, which will be the summer of next year. Fantastic. For the 10th anniversary. I did a parody of Grease called Lube.
Oh, I remember that. That was so funny.
Oh my God, it was so bad.
So bad.
Like bad. Bad. Yeah, yeah. It was
delicious.
Amazing. Yeah. And 50 Shades of Gay will be in Indianapolis next weekend.
Wow. So what are the dates for that?
The 15th, 16th, and 18th, I believe. 3 nights.
Okay. So August 15th, 16th, and 18th?
Yeah, I believe it's 15, 17, 18.
15, 17, 18 in Indianapolis. Go see 50 Shades of Gay.
Yes, at the DK stage.
The DK stage. And where can they get tickets?
Indiefringe.org.
Indiefringe.org.
How come you don't do some fringes?
I've never really got into the fringe stuff, and I should.
It's really amazing. They promote and they market, and you just show up.
Wow. I need to do that.
Yeah, we need to chat.
I never. Yeah, I'll.
That would be great for the Cher show.
Yeah, absolutely. Just something corny and stupid. I love.
It's something different, and forget it. Fringe, they love Cher, obviously.
Obviously.
And then,
hello.
Mm-hmm.
So I am so happy you came to the elaborate studio that this is.
I don't know where to look first.
I know.
I just
all the
don't.
gold records on the wall.
Oh, it's fabulous! Oh, look, there's so many. Joan Rivers. Oh my God, Richard Pryor. Yeah. They're drawn, but it's all good.
They're stolen.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I always love to wrap up the show with 2 questions.
Uh-oh.
And for IKE AVELLI, question number 1.
Okay.
Is there a bit a comic has done that made you go, God damn it, that was brilliant. I wish I had written that, and what was it?
Okay. This goes back with Joan Rivers. Speaking of Joan and Cher.
Yep.
Joan was on Fashion Police. Oh my God. And she said, because Cher just had a new song coming out, it was Decades. And Joan said, I believe the last time Cher had a hit was when there was a bush in office and a bush in her daughter's pants. I was like, why didn't I write that one?
Right?
Oh, it was brilliant.
So genius. I thought that was Joan. I mean, Joan in the year 2000 was complaining about political correctness on E.
Yeah.
Being interviewed, she's like, this gotta stop. You gotta stop censoring comedians. That's what we're here for, is to push the boundaries, to talk about the taboo subjects, and to make light of it so people can process it and actually make functional, common sense decisions about it, instead of harsh, emotional, negative reactions to everything and being triggered.
Well, that's how it was when I used to watch Johnny Carson at night. He got everybody. He did not care. But it was in light. Everything was in light.
Because that was the old school. What people don't understand with like old school stuff, like especially with roasts. The old school daises, they got dressed up. They sat on the dais and they annihilated each other. Yeah. And you cannot effectively roast somebody or successfully roast somebody without the love, trust, and respect between the two people.
That's true.
And if you don't love that person or respect them, it's going to come off mean and fucked up.
Yeah.
So when you, like I always tell people, I'm like, you want to learn something, go watch drag queens talk shit to each other.
Oh, yeah.
There is no filter. There is no subject that's too taboo.
Yep,
There's no borders, no
Mm-mm.
lines to cross. There's none. They just go and annihilate each other because they know they love and respect what each other does. And that's the selling point. And I always tell comics, don't be angry on stage. I don't have any anger in my body, believe it or not.
Right.
Because I love I want everybody to win. I just want us to have a good time.
Amen.
Life is short. You know, I just want us all to win.
Mm-hmm.
We all have a place at the table. Why can't we all just laugh and have fun and enjoy this gift of life?
Yeah.
I sound like one of those cheesy fucking live, love, laugh bullshit fucking plaques.
Oh my God, but it's so true.
But it's true. Get over yourself.
Yeah,
it's not about you.
Everybody has to have the pie, but they have to have it for themselves.
See, like my Susan Winter, she's a relationship expert. I had her on the show a couple weeks ago about dysfunctional comics.
It's not me.
It's not me. It's you.
I need that shirt.
Right?
Quickly.
Right.
It's true. And then, like, Bianca Del Rio and Coco Peru are two of the most amazing drag queens, and they insult each other nonstop. And I think, honestly, it's a great way to be artistic because you're creating these amazing insults, and they're working.
But it's also getting over yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to take a joke like that and be busted on.
Yeah.
It just shows that your ego has been left at the door, and let's have fun.
Yeah.
And when you start getting upset or triggered, that's when there's problems, and you need to cut it loose. Yeah, nobody was better at it than Joan Rivers.
Oh, Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah, she was the queen.
The best jokes ever.
Yeah, she was legendary. And so, question number 2, which just leads me to, is that because we're comics, we like to bust on each other in the green room or crack jokes, see if we can get each other to laugh. And also because I worked with Paul Mooney for many, many years.
Oh, that's legendary, right?
We used to close his shows with street jokes, but he would Mooneyize them and destroy the house. Like, he would do like 3 or 4 of them, but he'd add a Mooney twist and annihilate. So what is your go-to street joke?
Okay, so there's a little story behind it.
Ooh.
In 2015, I entered a contest to perform in Atlantic City.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of comics. We got up, and it was a tie between me and another gentleman.
Okay.
We had to get up, and we each had to tell a joke. And whoever told the joke was going to decide who was going to do their thing in Atlantic City. Mm-hmm. So I got up, and I told this joke. A guy walks into a bar, right? Typical. Mm-hmm. And he's new in town, and there's this beautiful woman behind the bar. And he walks up, and he says, "May I have a vodka soda?" So she reaches down, she pulls up an apple, and she puts it on the bar. And he goes, "Are you joking?" She goes, "Take a bite." So he grabs it, he takes a bite. He goes, "Oh my God, it's vodka." He goes, "Well, what about the soda?" She goes, "Turn it around." He turns it around, he takes a bite. He goes, "Oh my God, it's vodka soda. This is insane." He said, "Do you have a rum and Coke?" She goes, "The apple." She puts it on the counter. She goes, "Take a bite." He grabs it. "Oh my God, it's rum." He goes, "What about the Coke?" She goes, "Turn it around." Turns around, takes a bite. "It's rum and Coke. This is insane. Are there cameras around here?" He doesn't understand what's happening.
Right.
He goes, "Listen, I'm new in town. Do you have anything back there that tastes like pussy?" She gets the apple and she puts it on the counter. "Take a bite." He takes a bite and he goes, "Oh my God, this tastes like ass." She goes, "Turn it around." That joke won me a gig. I heard it on the street and I was like, "Oh my God, I got to take this with me."
I've heard that joke before. It's a great one. I love stupid jokes like that. They're fucking genius. So anyway, tell everybody. I'm so glad you were here.
Oh, me too.
I feel like Carol Burnett.
Amazing.
I'm so glad we had this time together. So,
I don't know the rest.
Me neither.
But we could tug on our ear like nobody's business.
Honey, I could tug on your dick.
Carol.
Anyway, tug on this. And, so tell everybody that's listening now, all my schoolers, where they can find you on the socials and your gigs. Re-promote your gigs.
Yes, they can find me on IKEAVELLI.net, and everything is on there. It's a one-stop shop. You can find my shop to buy clothes, anything for your phones, with the mouse pads. You can find my Facebook, Instagram. Everything's on IKEAVELLI.net.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the shows that are coming up are on the calendar on there as well.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And remember also, too, to follow us here at Old School, New School Comedy on Instagram. And, follow us on the Apple Podcast, Spotify, and all that fun stuff. And don't forget to follow me also at Christy Miller Comedy on the socials. And, so please leave a comment, like, follow, subscribe, and share the show. We love you. See you next week.